Hello, Lodge Magician here, and today I'd like to present to you the elements and zodiac for magical use. This is an introductory topic for people that are just getting into magic. These are some of the basic building blocks of magical practice. So what we're going to cover is definitely information that you'll need if you're just starting off. And as you can see, this is the first magical knowledge presentation. I'm going to do several more of these on a variety of topics. So starting off, we're going to look at the four elements, what they are, and how they function. So just some basics on the elements themselves. There are four basic elements, according to the classical traditions: fire, water, air, and earth. Now, some people will say that spirit is an element as well, and it can be considered that, but for our purposes, we're going to stick with just the four basic elements of earth, air, fire, and water. And we'll discuss spirit at a later point because it is somewhat different from these four elements. Now, it's important to remember that these are not the physical elements. So we're not talking about the physical water that you may see around you or that you may drink, or the physical air that you breathe in, the physical earth that you walk upon. All of those things are different from what we're talking about here, and I'll explain that in just a moment. What we're talking about are basic energetic modes of existence and action. Is basic energies and how those energies act that we're going to be taking a look at. These energies form the building blocks of everything in the universe, from the stars and galaxies down to the smallest atoms and smallest single cell organisms, all the way up through the life cycle. You, the world around you, everything is composed of these four elements in certain amounts. And all things that exist or have the potential to exist contain one or more of these elements, usually many more than just one, usually three or four. For example, we talk about physical water, and why physical water is not a basic element, because physical water that we drink or that we swim in or in our oceans is going to have other things mixed into it. It's not just purely water. And even the water itself is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen, which are gases. So we're not talking about the physical elements here, but we're talking about that state of energy that we describe as water, which we'll look at what those states of energy are and how we can use them in just a little bit. So the four elements, fire, water, air, and earth, are assigned a dual combination of two of the four qualities of heat, cold, dryness, and moisture. So heat and cold, you can consider a pair. Dryness and moisture, you can consider a pair. And each element is assigned one of the pair from each of those sets. And here we can see that along with the symbols for the element. You can see that fire has the qualities of heat and dryness, water the qualities of cold and moisture, air the qualities of heat and moisture, and earth the qualities of cold and dryness. And you can see their symbols, as I said on the right. Fire is a triangle, water is a triangle pointed down, air is a triangle pointed up with a line, horizontal line across it, and earth is a triangle pointed upside down with a line across it. So start off by looking at each of these four elements in order. So we're going to start off with fire. So fire expresses the qualities of activity, masculine energy, spontaneity. It's a quick energy. It's active in initializing and getting things done or starting things. It's a very vitalizing and very energetic quality of energy. In alchemy, fire is the element at the center of all things and is the agent of transformation. So not only is fire the spark that creates all things, but it's also what causes everything to change. It's considered the supernal father energy, the seed force of the universe. We generally say that fire serves two purposes. One, it's the expression of spiritual energy and determination. So it's that quality that creates the desire in you to do things, the drive, the motivational force within you. And two, it purifies, burns, and destroys the old so that the new may emerge. So it can be a purifying or a cleansing energy as well as that desire or that drive. In the four directions, fire is typically assigned to the southern direction. And fire on a magical level relates to the concepts of strength, vigor, power, domination, authority, and prestige, as well as the magical will. Next, we'll take a look at water. So water's qualities include being passive, feminine, receptive, sustaining. It's often associated with the subconscious, and it's a creative and generative energy. Now, water implies all liquid materials, not just what we think of as water, the combination of hydrogen and oxygen, but it's that flowing quality. Primeval water contains all solid bodies before they become rigid in form. This is on an alchemical level relating to fire and water. Fire is the desire to create and the energy to create, and water takes that energy and gives it form. Water is the fluid unconscious mind and is the archetypal feminine energy or the feminine side of the personality. It can be seen as the great mother and the wisdom contained within the subconscious mind. Water symbolizes the realm of infinite possibilities. So as we said earlier, things are not manifest yet when we're talking about water. By immersing in water, it typically signifies a return to a preformed state or to an unblemished or purified state. Water can also stand for transfiguration and regeneration. Water is seen to be in the direction of the west when we're looking at the directions from the center. And related concepts to the element of water include productivity, generation, aesthetic values, interpersonal relationships, intuition, magical aspiration, pleasure, fertility, marriage, and happiness, and generally things of an emotional nature. Next, we'll look at the element of air. So air's qualities include being active, masculine, intellectual, ethereal, abstract, and communicative. It symbolizes the creative breath of life, which is given to what is created from the union of water and fire, the masculine and feminine. It is light. It has to do with flight, weightlessness, scent and smell, and all these are associated with the element of air. It is a volatile element, meaning that it's not stable yet. It's produced from the union of fire and water as steam, and it's very active. It's not in a fixed state at this point. It reconciles and balances the energies of fire, the masculine, and water, the feminine principles. And it balances them and brings them into one element or one personification. Air alludes to the human intellect and has a great deal of interaction or influence on thinking, learning, and communication. Of course, the human intellect is quick, changeable, and often abstract. It is typically seen as being in the direction of the east. And related topics to the element of air include conflict, competition, strength, health, sickness, mental processes, discipline, communication, magical utterances, troubles, and disputes. Finally, let's take a look at the element of earth. The element of Earth's qualities include being passive, feminine, solid, materialization, physical, stable, slow-moving, and grounded. Earth represents the physical manifest universe. It's the tangible world that we can see, touch, and feel. Whereas air is considered the son of fire and water, Earth is considered the daughter of fire and water. All activities involving productivity, fertility, growth, and regeneration are associated with the element of earth. Earth is the result of the actions of the three other elements, and it's reached its final fixed state. So we say that Earth is the material state or the final outcome. Its cardinal direction is in the north, traditionally. And related topics include the body, sense perception, money, business, employment, practical and material matters, and magical manifestation. So now let's take a look at astrology and the zodiac. And before we get into that, I would like to say that this video is not going to make you a practicing astrologer. That's not what it's designed to do. It's designed to explain signs and astrological principles in a way that's useful for magical practice. Now, if you want to become a astrological forecaster, the information that's in here would certainly help you, but this is not going to produce that level of ability with this video. So just some of the basics about astrology, and we're going to be looking at the signs in this video, the zodiacal signs. Astrology is a science that examines the action of celestial bodies on living and non-living objects and earthly conditions, and how these conditions influence us and how we relate to these influences. Of course, astrology is the precursor to astronomy. Now, esoteric astrology deals with mathematical calculations, charting a horoscope, and predictive arts. The esoteric astrology deals with the spiritual, moral, intellectual, and physical dynamics of the cosmos, and this is more of what we will be looking at. So like I said, this video is going to be about this part of the video is going to be about the zodiac. And the zodiac is a circle or belt that is 8 or 9 degrees on either side of the ecliptic, which is the sun's apparent path around the earth. That belt consists of 12 constellations or signs that the sun moves through on its journey throughout the heavens. Now, the zodiacal wheel is a flat chart that is divided into 12 houses, each of which is ruled by one of the signs, which houses we'll be discussing in a later video. So the signs are divided into two different categories. They're divided into 4 triplicities, or groups of 3. And these are the representations of the elements within the zodiac. So for each of the elements, fire, water, air, and earth, there are 3 signs. And these are the 3 triplicities. The signs are also divided into 3 quadruplicies, or groups of 4 signs. These represent the modalities of each sign, whether it be cardinal, mutable, or cherubic, which is more commonly today called fixed signs. So the energy of each of the signs in the zodiac is a combination of the modality and the element. And when you look at that, you get 12 distinct signs. So let's talk about the triplicities. The first is the triplicity of fire, which includes the signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Positive traits that come from each of these signs are a fiery personality. They're impassioned, they're eager. They can be spontaneous, independent, and enthusiastic. On a negative side, they tend to be too forceful, overbearing, and domineering. And they're really an identity principle, meaning that they're really about me, or about I, and what I am, and what I can become. Next, we have the water triplicity, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Positive traits from these 3 signs include being intuitive, receptive, emotional, sensitive, compassionate, and complex. On a negative side, the traits can be very moody, they can be easily influenced, be given to self-pitying, and be wavering or changeable. And these 3 signs really represent the feeling principle about things that you feel, about your feelings toward a particular situation, a particular person, and those type of emotional feelings. Next is the triplicity of air, which is Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Positive traits and aspects of these 3 signs can include being very proficient in communication, being intelligent, logical, open-minded, idealistic, and objective. On a negative side, they could be rather cold, they could be insensitive or impractical. And these 3 signs really represent the mental principles, what we think about, and what we focus our thoughts and our intentions on. And the fourth triplicity is the triplicity of Earth, which is Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. On the positive side, these traits can be stable, very earthly, very practical, dependable, very conservative, and also very sensual. On the negative side, they could be slow, dull, possessive, or very materialistic. Of course, this is the material substance principle. This is the principle of what I have, what I own, or things around me. Next, we'll take a look at the quadruplicies. So the cardinal quadruplicies are the beginnings of the elements. These are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. They rule the changing of the seasons. So Aries rules the change into spring. Cancer rules the change into summer. Libra rules the change into fall, and Capricorn rules the change into winter. These are active, fervent, independent, enthusiastic signs. They're very ambitious. They're very initiating. These are the starting project signs, the go-getter signs. They're very quick mentally, but also unstable. They can be impetuous, domineering, and thoughtless, and can lack the ability to follow through. Like I said, these are the initiating signs. These are the signs that start action, start things. They're energy that moves outwards from a person or from an activity. So the cardinal signs are really, like I said, the onset of energy, the beginning of the functioning of the elemental energies. Next comes the cherubic or fixed signs, which are Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. These are the middle month of each season. So when the season is in full effect, they're very stable, determined, persevering, able to concentrate, and accumulative. They reach goals slowly but steadily. They're perceptive and have excellent memory. They can also be egotistical, obstinate, and too firmly ingrained in their ways. These are the stabilizing energies of the elements. They are the energy that moves inward and returns toward the center. The cherubic energy is very stable. It's in a that's why they're called fixed signs these days rather than cherubic signs. They're at the apex of their strength in the element, and they're very fixed in what they're doing. And next comes the mutable signs. These are Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. And they rule the closing month of each season. And they're also referred to as common signs. And they cover completion of the work while looking forward to the next season. So they're adaptable, they're versatile, they're changeable, subtle, they're very intuitive and understanding. They're mentally clever and flexible, but they can be unreliable, fickle, deceptive, and cunning. They're adapting and learning signs. So energy of these signs really adapts to its situation, it learns, and it changes. They are energy that spirals and adapts as it moves. Mutable is the transitioning energy. So it is transitioning from the element that it was, or the season that it was, depending on how you're looking at them, into the next element or season. So here we have all 12 of the zodiac signs with their names, their symbol, what the symbol is, the image that the symbol represents, what triplicity they are, and what quadruplicity they are. And here you can see that the triplicities go in a specific order. Aries is fire, Taurus is earth, Gemini is air, Cancer is water. And then it starts over again with Leo is fire, Virgo is earth, Libra is air, Scorpio is water. And then it repeats. So the triplicities always go in that order: fire, earth, air, water. The quadruplicies also have an order. They go starting in Aries as a cardinal sign, Taurus is a cherubic, Gemini is immutable. Then the next sign, Cancer, will be cardinal again. And they go Leo, cherubic, Virgo, mutable, and the order will start over again. So you do not have, for example, the fire signs. You don't have the cardinal fire and then the cherubic fire and then the mutable fire. Okay, they're spread out throughout the year. So you can look and you can see as it goes if Aries with fire is the cardinal sign of spring, then Taurus with earth would be the cherubic sign of spring. And Gemini would be the mutable sign of spring. And then Cancer would be the cardinal sign of summer, Leo would be the cherubic sign of summer, and so on and so forth. And you can go through and you can map out the seasons according to the quadruplicies. So let's look first at Aries. Now, of course, Aries starts on or around March 21st and ends around April the 19th. The sigil for Aries represents the ram's horns. Its triplicity is fire and its quality is cardinal. So the key phrase to think about with an Aries is I am. And its keyword is activity. On the positive side, it could be quick, initiating, pioneering, executive, eager, courageous, independent, dynamic, impulsive, competitive, and very much lives in the present. This is the key I am establishing and I am creating activity sign. On a negative sign, this side can be quick-tempered, overbearing, violent, intolerant, very egotistical, impatient, abrupt, doesn't follow through, can be hasty, and can be very self-centered or after me. This is the sign of the pioneer. It needs to be independent and develop self-awareness and really develop things for itself. Aries are all about establishing their independence. Related concepts to think about as far as magical implications would be new beginnings, impulses, reason, control, domination, war, conquest, victory, strife, ambition, and spontaneity. Next is Taurus. Taurus, of course, is from April the 20th through May the 20th. The sigil for Taurus is a bull's head. So you can see the head with the horns on the sigil. Its triplicity is earth, and its quality is cherubic. Taurus's key phrase is I have, and its keyword is stability. On positive traits, a Taurus can be very stable, very dependable, very practical, thorough, domestic, conventional, aesthetic, and very sensual. Its negative traits can be very short-tempered, can be bullheaded, slow-moving, quarrelsome, very possessive, can be greedy, selfish, and materialistic. Taurus is the sign of the builder. It needs to be resourceful, productive, and stable. And related concepts include practicality, reliability, materialism, inspiration, divine wisdom, mercy, benevolence, manifestation, explanation, teaching, and sometimes occult wisdom. Now let's take a look at the sign of Gemini, which runs from May 21st to June 20th. The sigil for Gemini is the Roman numeral 2. Its triplicity is air, and its quality is mutable. Its key phrase is "I think," and its key word is versatility. Positive traits include versatile, adaptability, social, dual, expressive, inquisitive, inventive, dexterous, intelligent, literary, and quick-witted. Negative traits include being changeable, alternating, being scatterbrained, conniving, fidgety, a short attention span, lacking follow-through, or lacking powers of concentration. Gemini is the sign of the communicator. It needs to communicate with and learn from others. Related concepts to Gemini include mental inclinations and abilities, communication, speaking and writing, adaptivity, creativity, changeability, diversity, insight, attraction, harmony, passive inspiration, and action arising from inspiration. Next, we have the sign of Cancer, which is June 21st through July 20th. The sigil for Cancer is the crab claws. Its triplicity is water, and its quality is cardinal. Its key phrase is "I feel," so it's all about feeling. And the key word is devotion. Positive traits include nurturing, maternal, domestic, traditional, emotional, sensitive, understanding, supportive, retentive, and excellent memory. Negative traits are self-pitying, self-centeredness, moody, sulky, negative, overcautious, indolent, manipulative, and overly emotional. Cancer is the sign of the nurturer. It needs to give and receive emotional warmth and security. Related concepts include emotion, intuition, nurturing, domesticality, health, psychic receptibility, memory retention, victory, success, and triumph, although that triumph can be unstable. Next is the sign of Leo, which is July 23rd through August 22nd. The sigil for Leo is the lion's tail. Its triplicity is fire, and its quality is cherubic. The key phrase is I will, and its keyword is magnetism. Positive traits include romantic, charismatic, dramatic, distinguished, proud, ambitious, enterprising, self-confident, idealistic, and charitable. Its negative traits include being egotistical, conceited, bombastic, pompous, childish, status conscious, domineering, cruel, and being a tyrant. Leo is the sign of performer, so Leos need to express themselves through creativity and being appreciated by others. Related concepts to Leo include creativity, leadership, drama, idealism, optimism, generosity, flamboyance, self-expression, strength, courage, fortitude, and obstinacy. Now let's look at the sign of Virgo, which runs from August 23rd through September 22nd. The sigil for Virgo is the Greek word for virgin. Its triplicity is earth, and its quality is mutable. The key phrase is I analyze, and the keyword is practicality. Positive traits for Virgo include practical, analytical, discriminating, scientific, systematic, exacting, diligent, industrious, perfectionist, and neat. Negative traits include fault-finding, being critical, being picky, being cynical, stuffy, being snobbish, being a hypochondriac, and being self-centered. Virgo is the sign of the analyst. It needs to analyze and discriminate and then function effectively through that discrimination. Related concepts include analysis, discrimination, perfectionism, efficiency, conservatism, neatness, fussiness, prudence, labor, guidance, protection, and wisdom that is sought for. The next sign is the sign of Libra, which runs from September 23rd through October the 22nd. The sigil for Libra is the scales. Its triplicity is air, and its quality is cardinal. The key phrase for Libra is I balance, and its keyword is harmony. Positive traits include being sociable, tactful, amicable, cooperative, being persuasive, peace-loving, sophisticated, being the diplomat, and being fair. Negative traits include being indecisive, ambivalent, inconsistent, sulking, easily deterred, being a lover of intrigue, and striving for peace at any cost. Libra is the sign of the diplomat. Libras need to cooperate with others and create balance and harmony. Related concepts include justice, equilibrium, cooperation, diplomacy, tact, legal matters, court cases, material matters, symmetry, power, and force in judgment. The next sign is Scorpio, which runs from October 23rd through November 21st. The sigil for Scorpio is the scorpion's tail. Its triplicity is water, and its quality is cherubic. Scorpio's key phrase is I desire, and its keyword is intensity. Positive traits include being intense, profound, penetrating, resolute, motivated, resourceful, passionate, aware, and investigative. Its negative traits can include being temperamental, irritable, intolerant, domineering, violent, jealous, resentful, distrustful, and secretive. Scorpio is the sign of the healer. It needs deep involvement and intense transformations. Related concepts include passion, resourcefulness, jealousy, envy, secrecy, manipulation, involuntary change, death, destruction, transformation, regeneration, and time. Sagittarius. Sagittarius runs from November 22nd through December 21st. The sigil for Sagittarius is the archer's arrow. Its triplicity is fire, and its quality is mutable. The key phrase for Sagittarius is I understand, and its keyword is visualization. Positive traits for Sagittarius include being freedom-loving, honest, straightforward, open-minded, philosophical, religious, educated, ethical, optimistic, enthusiastic, and charitable. Its negative traits can include exaggerating, being quarrelsome, talking too much, being blunt, tactless, impatient, procrastinating, being self-indulgent, pushy, hot-headed, and a risk taker. Sagittarius is the sign of the explorer. It needs to explore and expand its horizons of the mind and of the world. Related concepts to Sagittarius include understanding, philosophy, idealism, inspiration, adaptation, directness, independence, freedom, expansion, the combining of forces, material action, and realization. Next is the sign of Capricorn, which runs from December 22nd to January the 19th. The sigil for Capricorn is the sea goat's horn and tail. Its triplicity is earth, and its quality is cardinal. Capricorn's key phrase is I use, and its keyword is ambition. Positive traits for Capricorn can include ambitiousness, hardworking, seriousness, being businesslike, conservative, pragmatic, prudent, responsible, and scrupulous. Its negative traits can be stubborn, sulking, an egotist, status conscious, overbearing, unforgiving, fatalistic, inhibited, and placing the mind over the heart. Capricorn is the sign of the governor. It needs structure, organization, and social accomplishment. And related concepts to Capricorn include persistence, patience, practicality, integrity, hard work, management, structure, rigidity, materialism, material force, temptation, obsession, fate, and destiny. Next is Aquarius, which runs from January the 20th through February the 18th. The sigil for Aquarius is waves of water. Its triplicity is air, and its quality is Carabook. The key phrase for Aquarius is I know, and the key word is imagination. Positive traits for Aquarius can include being imaginative, inventive, progressive, independent, scientific, intellectual, logical, individualistic, understanding, benevolent, and philanthropic. Negative traits for Aquarius are unemotional, aloof, dispassionate, temperamental, unpredictable, shy, eccentric, extremist, unruly, and being fixed in opinions. Aquarius is the sign of the reformer. It needs to be innovative, original, and be an agent of change. Related concepts to Aquarius can include hope, faith, humanitarianism, unconventionality, ingenuity, revolution, unexpected help, fanaticism, dreaminess, and deceived hope. And finally, Pisces, which runs from February the 19th through March the 20th. The sigil for Pisces is two fish tied together. Its triplicity is water, and its quality is mutable. The key phrase for Pisces is I believe, and the key word is understanding. Positive traits for Pisces include being understanding, intuitive, instinctive, introspective, humanitarian, compassionate, charitable, sympathetic, emotional, sacrificing, artistic, musical, and sensitive. Negative traits for Pisces include being negative, being pessimistic, melancholy, procrastinating, hesitating, being a chatterbox, being lazy, impractical, unrealistic, fearful, faint-hearted. Pisces can feel misunderstood and emotionally constrained. Pisces is the sign of the dreamer. Pisces needs to commit to a dream or an ideal and work toward its realization. Related concepts to Pisces include imagination, voluntary change, dreams, poetry, intuition, sensitivity, compassion, psychic matters, dissatisfaction, escapism, deception, falsity, error, and lying. And this concludes the video for our Magical Knowledge Part 1. I'd like to thank you for watching the video. Hope you got a lot of information out of it. If you like this video and my other videos, like and subscribe so that you'll be notified whenever I produce new videos. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.